G'day guys, so this morning I'm off to take some photos, and not of sunrise actually, because the sun rose over half hour ago, but we are still going to take some photos. I'm actually after a photo that I've been wanting for a while now, so I do have an idea. We're going to go take that photo now. So my idea this morning is to get a photo down in the Botanical Gardens over in Sydney. It's been one I've been wanting to get for a while, but I haven't managed to get it, and it's only one that I can grab in the springtime because it has to do with the flowers, so I'm going to see if we can go get that photo. So you may be wondering why I'm down at the Harbour Bridge here if I want to take photos over in the Botanical Gardens. Well, that is for two reasons. First off, the Botanical Gardens don't open for another 15 minutes, so it's good to park over here and just walk around. I can get some other different styles of photo. And second of all, the parking over here is way cheaper than over in the Botanical Gardens. The Botanical Gardens, I pay like $9 an hour for parking over there, which is, if I'm being honest, just completely crazy. Every hour of the day you pay that, so it doesn't matter how early in the morning I get there. Whereas if I park over here, as long as I leave before 8 o'clock, it's all free. So I'm pretty happy with that. Also, I feel like you can't come into the city and not get some crazy footage of the harbour. So let's cut to that now. Well, there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that B-roll. It's always good coming in here to the city, and I love just being around the harbour. It's always really nice. So this morning I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I feel like a lot of us go through, and a lot of us as artists, as generally, but I think as photographers more so in today's day and age. A lot of photographers on Instagram and things like that are like easily accessible for a lot of people. Is the thing that I've been struggling with is the idea of imitation, and every time I have an idea, having to question whether that idea has come from someone else, whether that is just someone else's idea, and whether I'm taking a photo that someone else has already taken. Which, to be honest, is probably mostly true. Like, most of the photos I have taken are ones that other people have taken, and I do sit there and question a lot whether that is a good thing or a bad thing, whether it's bad to be imitating other people, or whether that is a learning experience, or whether it is even imitation at all, whether that's just inspiration. So that is something that I've been dealing with. I'd love to hear your comments on this, guys. And here we are, guys. This is this morning's spot. This is where I've been trying to go. This is the type of frame that I've been looking for, with these flowers down here and those candy cards. I'll swing you around. You can see that all these flowers through here, these type of flowers, and then trying to line up a shot with the Opera House in the background. So hopefully we can do that now. So here's the idea for this morning. We've got the camera lined up here and trying to take this frame back this way through the gardens there, through these flowers, and get the Opera House in the back. We've got a nice long lens on this morning, so hopefully we can get something compressed. And this is what we're looking like at the moment. You guys probably can't see much of it, but there we go. That's the sort of frame that we're going for, with all these nice beautiful flowers in the front. So hopefully we can come up with something really nice here this morning. And now we're in a real hurry to get back to the car before the parking runs out. I got about 15 minutes, so I'm on the hike. I'll get the legs on. Talk to you guys soon. I'm legitimately running back through the park right now because I think I'm going to be a bit late behind my time. This is actually quite hard with this backpack on, but hopefully we'll make it. I think we'll get there. And I just made it back in time. I think we're good. Haven't got a parking ticket. It's just before 8, I think, so I think we should be right. Not exactly sure what time it is. It's 7:59. Just made it back in time. How good. Overall, I'd say that was a pretty successful morning. I think I managed to get the exact photo that I wanted. Hopefully we can bring it out a bit more in editing. It did look a little bit bland there this morning. Didn't get the exact light that we wanted, but I think it still should be a good photo. It's hard with a couple of those things because I feel like I don't want to take the exact photo that other people have taken, but in this instance it is a photo that I was always really wanting. It's been one I've been wanting for a few years actually. It happens with those flowers being out every spring. It's something that I've always really wanted to grab, so I'm happy to take that photo. Even though other people have taken it, I can understand that other people would want to take it. It's a good photo, so I'm not going to hold back just because they got there first this year. There's probably people who have taken it years before. Everyone's taken that photo, so I don't feel like that's such a bad thing. Hey guys, so I've just gotten back from taking these photos and I've just gone through editing them, and I thought I would give you guys a quick look at the type of process that I went through and how they all turned out. So jumping in here now, this is the first shot that I got this morning. This was the sort of frame that I was looking at, and this is one of the raw photos straight out of camera. And this one is one of the other raw photos straight out of camera as well. So what I've done here is created a HDR photo, so high dynamic range, on this photo because I wanted the flowers to be visible in the shot, but I didn't want to blow out the Opera House in the background. So I've created a stack of these two photos. So this one obviously with the flowers more nice and bright and prominent, but as you can see the Opera House is blown out. This one correctly exposed for the Opera House, but obviously you can't really see the flowers at all. So I've created a stack of those, and with that HDR, it's come out to look something a bit like this. So this is the basic HDR photo that I've come up with. It looks quite nice. It's not really overly my style. I'm not really used to doing a lot of HDR photos. I mostly shoot at sunrise, sunset when there's that nice even lighting. After this, took it into Photoshop and we came up with an image that looked a little bit like this. So did a few tweaks around, brought back a few of those blacks. I like to keep a lot of blacks, a lot of darks in my images, and really picked up those highlights and added more contrast, a bit more saturation, changed the colors there of the flowers up to a few of those greens to keep it a bit more natural. And I think it's quite a nice image. It's not really sort of my style that I normally go for, but in the end I was pretty happy with it. It's a nice frame and I'm glad that I went and got this one. The other one that I went through and did was a raw that I took here. This was the original shot and I stopped this one down. I think this is at f16. Yeah, this is way down, trying to get some of the flowers more in focus. I didn't want to do a stack where I stacked the photos of the Opera House being in focus and the flowers in focus. So I tried to just do one photo. I like to have some depth of field, but I have stopped it down here to get those flowers a bit more in focus so they're not just a complete blur. And I've gone right up to the point here where the Opera House is almost blown out. It's basically completely white, but I was able to bring this back without being a HDR photo. I've just dragged up the shadows and down on the highlights and come up with something looking like this. And I actually quite think it's quite a nice photo. It is actually zoomed in quite a long way here. So we're shooting at about 105mm here, I think. So quite well cropped in on the Opera House, and I think it's quite a nice frame with those flowers in the foreground, still being slightly out of focus, but it still gives you that bit of depth. And then with the Harbour Bridge in the background, I think it's quite a nice photo. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this sort of walkthrough and being able to see my process of how I sort of go and take a photo. As I said, I was talking about this when I was out on the shoot, but this was really an inspired sort of shoot by photos that I've seen other people take, and this is one of the photos that I've been really wanting to grab for such a long time now, being that springtime photo around in Sydney. It's one of those main ones that everyone wants to get. And I think I came to a point where I was questioning whether I should actually go and take this photo because I've seen a lot of people take it, but I think I draw that line of imitation versus inspiration. I think it borders imitation when you're using the exact same camera settings, using the same angle, the same lens, the same editing process as someone else. I think that can start to border on imitation if I was just going to post up the exact same photo that someone else had taken. But I think with this, I've tried to add my own little spin on it and tried to add my own sort of flavor, and that's sort of why I went with the HDR photo here, because it's not something that I normally do. I didn't really go out with exact angle. I didn't go out with shooting with the same type of lens that I saw someone else take it with. I just knew what I sort of wanted to get, switch the angle up a little bit. I've seen other people take this photo with just having the flowers in focus with the Opera House in the background out of focus. I think there's still cool ways you can take other people's photo and make it your own. It's very difficult in today's day and age to come up with an original idea for a photo that's not already been done, especially in a place like Sydney that's very well populated with so many photographers out there taking the same style of photos all the time. Each year as these flowers come out, everyone's going to take this photo. If there was a nice sunset there, we could have got something else a bit unique, but apart from that, this is basically what you can do with it, and I don't think that is necessarily a bad thing. Anyway guys, I hope you did enjoy this video and you get something out of it, and I will be back with another one hopefully next week. Not sure what sort of style we'll be looking at next time, but I hope to see you guys then. Until next time guys, see you later.